Hello there, my Sagittarius collective. I hope you're having a wonderful day. What's going on with you, Sagittarius? Oh, Sagittarius. God protects me and God fights my battles. No weapon formed in spirit or physical against me shall prosper. I'm highly favored and protected from all evil, as is my beautiful Sagittarius collective. Sagittarius. Look at that. This is you saying your prayers. All my praying people out there, make sure you say your prayers before you go to sleep at night. Good energy. Some of y'all, this does feel like scripture. This does feel like prayers. This does feel like calm, healing energy coming around you. Yeah, you got your shields up. You're definitely being very proactive. You're at peace. You're all about peace. You could be listening to tranquil music. Scripture energy here. You definitely got a hard shell of protection around you. Some of y'all taking it to church. You're definitely grounded on something here. Grounded and focused on something. Ace of Cups energy. Hell yeah. Peace, love, and light, right? So you're in a tranquil, sort of placid state here, Sagittarius. It's a really good energy. You're definitely being very mindful. You're being proactive. Some of you, whatever you use to stay centered and focused, it could be like a Buddhism. Maybe you got a chant. Some of y'all, it's a prayer. It does feel spiritual. I do feel like you got some sort of spiritual thing that you're tapped into. That's kind of where you go for your happy space. Listening to music. Maybe you're reading. It's whatever the hell you're doing. Are some of you reading Revelations? Because that feels like Revelations to me. Making sense. Whatever the energy is, it's not pulling a negative energy around you. You're making sense. You're at peace. This is like you're at peace with a lot of things. You're in a really good energy. So whatever you're using to stay focused and grounded is working for you. So yeah, it's working for you. 6 of Wands there, King of Wands. The Moon card. Some of y'all are listening to something or somebody. You're reading something. And that's what's bringing about this healing. I don't know if it's preachers or some sort of guidance. It does feel like it's a guidance energy. That King of Wands, this is like a good speaker, a good orator, someone that's able to, well, I don't know. Do you all have certain people you like to listen to for you lay down? Their voice, the cadence of their voice, the words they speak kind of put you at ease, bring peace to you. It brings peace. Whatever this is, it brings peace. So, oh, you're in a good energy. Stay in that energy. 8 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles. Making sense of what doesn't make sense. Libra energy, which leads to 3 of Wands. Looking at things differently. Okay, this is like understanding. Yeah, that's why I was getting revelations on that. Someone could be listening to the Bible before they lay down or listening to someone speak. Whoever, whatever you're listening to, they kind of make sense of what doesn't make sense. They're helping you process and understand what you don't. It does kind of feel like brimstone and fire. I have to say that just because of that King of Wands, and then we got the King of Pentacles there at that 7 of Cups, or 7 of Pentacles there at that 7 of Cups energy on the 8 of Cups. But It doesn't feel like this is a riled up energy. It's like someone helps you make sense of what doesn't make sense. It brings a sort of peace and balance to you. It brings a peace and balance, right? There is change, there is conflict in the world, but there is also peace and balance. Brimstone and fire. I feel like it's a if it's not a preacher energy, it's someone who speaks on things and they kind of make sense to you, or they help you make sense of things, Sagittarius. It does feel like some sort of spiritual. If it's not a preacher energy, maybe it's an astrologer or someone that just, it feels like this person puts you at ease. This person puts you at ease. Helps you look at things from a little different perspective. It's like making heavy revelations energy here, but it's not a scary sort of energy. It's not a scary sort of energy. This gets you unstuck. It helps get you unstuck. Brings you closer to spirit. Helps you understand. Someone, this feels like spiritual. This feels spiritual. If they're not spiritual, whatever they speak on brings guidance. So if it's someone from a scientific standpoint, it kind of helps you make sense of maybe the more ethereal things in life, the philosophical questions that people have. It feels like you found something or somebody that kind of helps you make sense of it. A lot of you, if you're not really into listening to therapists, oh my God, what do they call them? Oh my God, the people that speak on the brain, the neuroscientist. Oh my goodness, that's really impressive. There's a lot of those that could really kind of help bring some clarity and peace to things to help you understand. Oh, there's one person in particular I'm thinking about, but whatever this energy is you're tapped into, it's like wisdom and peace and enlightenment and it's very introspective. So, damn. Be nice if everyone had this sort of it's like it feels like a voice, like an orator. I don't know if you're reading a book and you like the person's voice. You know, anyone that does audio books, you know, sometimes you can't get into the book because you don't like the person that's reading it, and that's just a choice, right? You've definitely got a good tapped in energy here. I like this. They bring you peace and happiness, but it feels like whatever they speak on could be things and issues that are a little hard to hear or that could be a little hard to comprehend, but the way they do it kind of brings peace to you. Because that does feel like Revelations energy, right? And if you read Revelations, that can get a lot of people riled up and excited and sad. But if you look at it from a different perspective, a different viewpoint to understand it, kind of makes sense of things that you might have trouble or might have had trouble with processing in the past. Whew. Sagittarians, that's beautiful. I wish everybody could find that. But you know, there are some, there's apps you can get that have people talking and reciting things that can kind of soothe you, put you to sleep. Right? Almost like a when you read a bedtime story to a child. You know, adults can kind of get into that. What are you tuned into? Those of you that like podcasts. Someone's helping you look at something completely different. It does feel like it's from a spiritual level. So some of you that are more spiritual, maybe you're listening to somebody who isn't based solely on spirituality, but they actually have a take on it that you like to make sense of it. Because it does, that King of Wands feels like fire and brimstone, but you know, that might not be what your belief is. Or that could have been how you were raised, and someone else is kind of explaining it in a different sort of light. It feels like a spiritual enlightenment, but from a different perspective. Whatever it is, it's making you happy. So at the end of the day, that's really the main thing, Sagittarius. It's healing. Hell, for some of you, maybe it's just the voice that kind of puts you at ease and you're able to just relax and breathe. But at the same token, it puts you at ease. Whatever the hell they speak about, whatever the hell this is, it kind of brings peace. Because that does feel like revelations. That does feel like fire and brimstone. But something here kind of, it's a centering energy. It helps you look at something a little different. Y'all the neuroscientists out there, if you've never listened to any of them, just listen, because you know they study the brain and all the processes, and a lot of the studies that they do make sense. And that's based on science. You know, they can quantify that. They know what lights up when they do the tests. There's a really famous one. If you all are drawn to that, you'll come across them. But you're definitely, you're in a good energy here. So, you know, if it works for you, it works for you. Not going to be for everybody. It does feel like it's based on scripture, but not really. That's sort of the juxtaposition, because this does feel like revelations. That does feel like fire and brimstone, but whatever the hell this is, it's presented in a way that's more positive, because it's bringing you some really good healing energy here. Fuck, maybe for some of you, just like the sound of the voice. Yeah, it's really helping you sort of tune in, tap into something. But it does feel like it brings you peace. It brings you peace. And that is true, because there are apps. Isn't it? Matthew McConaughey, I think, is on one of them, where he just speaks. I seen there was a game show host, or a talk show host, that had a guy on, and he said he listened. Him and his wife would listen to Matthew McConaughey. They had it on their app. So whatever works for you, Sagittarius. Sometimes it is just the voice. Because I'll admit, there's been audiobooks I couldn't get into because I didn't like the voice talking. Ooh, Sagittarius. Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light.